talk lunch or something.
Lunch table talk.
Yeah, lunchtime or date. I don't know.
Table
Table
talk
talk.
daytime.
If it's table talk at night, though, the abbreviation is TTAN, like Titan.
That's funny. That's like a gamer brand.
Mm-hmm.
TTAN.
All right, I got your docs, your topics open. Cool. Oh,
Oh,
what are the Ennies?
it'd technically be Tatan, which just doesn't sound right. So yeah, we're live on stream.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, what are the Ennies? The Ennies are the N World like gaming awards. So they
Mm-hmm.
happen. It's an annual thing. We'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, we got a bunch. We got a bunch of stuff for people over here. Um, we can see it on the docket. We have some housekeeping, and ooh, I forgot to add a couple of topics actually. Let me
Oh, there's
really
more.
quickly.
Okay,
Yeah, the local stuff,
cool.
which we will I'm we'll tackle at the end of the show for since we're changing things up already,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Might as well. Let's see how that works out. Uh, okay, hang on.
How are you liking the arrangement so far? By the way, streaming at night for you.
Um,
I know. I mean, we barely just started,
I
but
think it's just getting used to it, but
okay.
it's a bit of a pain. It's not. It's just because it's a new routine, you know.
Yeah, and I'm assuming like there's more activity in the house right at this hour, so you have to work around that.
Yeah, that too, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
also there's like my parents are hosting something downstairs, so there's
Oh,
that.
okay.
But yeah, nothing a little gain staging and some filters can't handle.
Honestly, I haven't been hearing anything
That's
other than
because
yeah.
that's because like things haven't really picked up yet downstairs. But
Hmm.
if you hear chanting and religious singing, it isn't a seance. It's just couples for Christ.
Well, we can pretend that it's a séance, and that would make it all the more funny.
All right. So, have our announcements gone out yet? I haven't seen any notifications pop up.
I haven't
Hey,
yet.
Jonat is on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in, man. And
Hey.
Jonat says this is a good time. I can actually watch now.
Oh,
Whoa,
my
that's
brother,
awesome.
everyone. You know, funny story. Raya was actually on stream earlier during the AM
Oh,
stream. Hmm.
oh, cool.
She appeared, and it turns out Santagoy knows her from college.
Ah,
They were
nice.
batchmates.
Small world.
Yeah, very small world indeed. What's up, Jonat? Thanks for letting me use your PC earlier. I don't know if you realized, but every time we stream from Alexandra, I'm using your computer.
Thank you for being an unwitting sponsor for our channel, Jonat. It means
Yeah.
so much.
Okay. What other housekeeping do we have? So yeah, we're trying this new format where we have two table talk streams. We're gonna do it to
Yes.
on Wednesdays, right?
Yes, that's right. Um on Wednesdays, like what does that mean? Are you gonna play in
I
the
might,
at noon? And
yeah, I
then
might
we'll
play a different game. I don't want to do Baldur's Gate because that's our game.
all right.
So I might, you know, I played a little bit of that game that Dice Chuck recommended we try, Son of a Witch.
Oh, how was it?
It's pretty fun. It's like a lighter Binding of Isaac. Mm.
Huh. A lighter
So
binding of Isaac. How does that
yeah,
work out?
it's like Castle Crashers in humor,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so Binding of Isaac is really kind of heavy, right? It deals with all sorts
Right.
of themes like oh,
Like
depression and
abortion.
feces and abortion and suicide, and it's kind of a heavy game. So the gameplay though is similar. It's a roguelike in the sense that, or a roguelite in the sense
Mm-hmm.
that the run is procedurally generated. It's random
Okay.
every time.
It's a random seed.
And you go room by room, clearing
Mm-hmm.
each room one at a time to before you get to a boss. And that when you beat the boss, you go to a next level. So
Oh, nice.
it's pretty much the same mechanics as Binding of Isaac,
Uh-huh.
but with the art style and humor more in line with games like Castle Crashers.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah. That
Mhm.
sounds like a wholesome time.
It is a wholesome time. It's funny because when I played it with Dice Chuck, that was my first time playing it, and according to him,
Mm.
that was our run was the farthest he had ever gotten in the game.
Well,
So I don't
you're
want to toot my
natural,
own
so
horn, but I think it means I'm
you're
pretty
like
darn good.
you're like the master of roguelikes in our little gaming group. So no surprise there.
don't tell me that until I beat Vagante. Seriously, that game still haunts me, haunts my
I've
dreams.
actually recommended Vagante to people, and I always have this little tinge of guilt because
Really.
I know how addictive Vagante is. I also know how supremely hard it is to beat. But
Mm,
like welcome to our personal hell, right?
absolutely. And
Um,
I wouldn't enjoy it if it was too easy anyway.
that's true.
That's the reason why I like roguelikes.
Yeah.
There's a bit of challenge, there's a bit of luck, and you can beat your head against it all day long, and it's still new.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what got me hooked on Vagante. Just
Mm.
like the fact that I couldn't, like I couldn't beat it so easily. So I just wanted to keep on trying. Um.
Jonat's saying in chat, he's speaking for Raya. Raya
Mm-hmm.
appeared on stream earlier because Xiao wanted to be famous. It's kind of cute.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah,
How old is Shao now?
old. She's due any day now,
Same for Maestra.
right,
Honestly,
Jonat?
our
She could die
dogs
tomorrow.
are knocking on death's door.
Oh man, Maestra is what, like in her teens already?
I think 12,
13?
13. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. Xiao is just 11, I think, or 12.
Oh.
Yeah, so maybe she's got another couple of
And
years.
and they're both Shih Tzus, right?
They are, yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't realize
So
Maestro was a Shih Tzu.
she is a mix. So she has some poodle in
Mm.
her
Janet clarifies it. Yeah, almost 12 years old.
herself.
So
Yeah.
2 or 3 more good years, and then the rest of it is just her chilling like
Until
Maestro.
that fateful day. Wow, this is we've been going on. But yeah, this is we're trying a few new things. So like we're doing
Mhm.
housekeeping, and then I'm thinking that's when we'll play the intro, and then we'll launch into our topics,
Sure.
right?
Yeah. I'm giving Table Talk at Night to you. So
You're just keeping me
lead the
company.
way. Yeah, I'm just
That's
keeping you
that's
company.
in case no one's watching, you're just here for moral support.
Oh, just always assume people are watching.
That's true. But
Even in the VODs, Dice Chuck revealed this to me. Sometimes when he
uh-huh.
misses our streams, he watches the VODs. So
That's awesome. That's what they're
hmm,
there for. But
exactly.
yeah, we're not alone tonight. Like we have Jonat and I think Raya and a
Hmm.
couple of more lurkers. So hello to you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, let's get started with this. By the way, we've been yammering on for a while. Could you let us know like if our audio is good? Like is JP too soft or like do I need to tweak anything with the audio? Let us know in chat, okay? And without further ado, we're gonna hit the intro.
Intro. I actually can't do the sound effects.
Can't hear. And
And
you're
because
delayed.
there's a delay. Hello, Sarah. Hello, I lurk. You do. We love it that you lurk. How is little Nicky? Is he with you right now? Why am I talking over the intro?
Hello. Thank you. Audio's good. Awesome. We
Yeah.
are all set. Hey, Don. Welcome to the stream and thank you for tuning in again. You are a lurker and a proud one at that.
Wow. Was he like straight out of the hatchery from the Hydralisk den? Oh God, StarCraft jokes.
I can't do it without it like going down to a whisper. My throat
Right.
can't handle it.
Spawn more overlords.
I don't know. That was
What
terrible.
was the Firebat one?
Need a light?
Yeah. That was an awesome impression. I
Oh.
gotta give it to you. That was pretty good.
Thank you. It's better than my Elminster voice, that's for sure.
By the way, I have I gotta give a shout out to another member of the Dicecast crew, Arvin. Thank you for giving me an idle monitor, I guess, that he had laying around at home. Because now I have one window for all the chats and
Yeah.
all the stuff, and the other window for everything else. I guess for Table Talk, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but when you do game streams, you won't hear audio cutting out of the game anymore because I'll have chat up like on the second monitor and all that. So thank you, Arvin.
It is the good life to have two monitors, multi monitors, but I swear it opens up a whole kind of worms because now you are thinking, should I get a third monitor?
Nah, I don't have the space for it,
Yeah.
and I don't have the Well, actually, I do have the HDMI slots for it, but I don't have the space for it. That's the point.
I don't know if you noticed, but like it's apparent even in the chat. Sorry, in the webcam that you have a
Uh-huh.
second monitor now because your face is more evenly lit up
Ah, that's true.
from the monitor glow.
I have that healthy second monitor,
Mm-hmm.
facial
That super
um
sexy neon lighting
lighting.
going on.
Hey Santago, welcome to the chat. Thank you for tuning
Welcome
in.
back, buddy. I
Wow,
was
is it
just
is
saying.
Santago 2 for 2? Like
Yeah,
so we
this
have
is his
yeah.
this is his second time to join our stream today, and
Good on you.
Tagoy, I was just mentioning actually that you know my sister Raya from college. So
Small world.
small world indeed.
Jinx.
Jinx.
Anyway, yeah. So speaking of small worlds, the
Hmm.
tabletop industry is a very small one.
It
So
is.
any chance you get to celebrate, oh hey Naomi, any chance you get to celebrate, it's there's never a there's never a bad excuse to celebrate. And so, oh, don't press escape.
Oh my god. Oh, she could
Wait,
have killed the stream right there. Hi, Naomi.
let's just say hi to Ninang JP.
Oh, Naomi's here. You want to come here to
You wanna say hi
stream?
to Ninong? Say hi.
Hi, Naomi, you cutie pie. I'm looking at the wrong camera.
Here, I'll share my earphones with you.
Oh, look at her with her little bob cut. Such a cutie.
Can you hear Ninong? Okay.
Hi,
So Naomi,
Naomi.
we're gonna go through the news. Our first topic. Speaking of small worlds, you are a small person in a very big world, and so here I don't know how that works, but here we go. Okay, bye bye.
Oh, she's gone. Okay.
She's gone.
Bye, Naomi. She got bored instantly.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm done with this.
So we have got a bunch of we have the annual Ennies. These are
Mhm.
tabletop RPG awards by N World, and the nominees for 2019 are up. Thanks to Cronary for this afternoon for your cluing us in to this
I
bit of news.
believe Cronary is Eric, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm just not sure what the etiquette is like. On
Okay.
should we refer to them by their usernames or?
Well, we've been calling
Oh,
Eric Eric
Dicecast.
this
That's
whole
right.
time.
And yeah, Eric.
Yeah, and
Fine.
he hasn't complained yet. So,
All right. Fine. Good point. Good point. So yeah, thank you, Lichcasts, for this tip. So you see a bunch of categories that include Judges Spotlight, which
mhm.
I guess is like the editor's pick, something along those lines. Best Adventure, Best Accessory, both digital and non-digital. There are awards for art, for both cover and interior art, cartography too, because
Whoa.
RPG map making is like a very different discipline. You've got best electronic book, best family game or product, and best free game or product. Best game overall, best layout and design, best monster or adversary, best online content, best organized play, best podcast. Ooh, I wonder
Whoa.
how we can get in on that.
First of all, step one, we have to have a podcast.
That's true. Yeah. Best production values, best RPG rated
Mm.
product, best rules, best setting. I love the categories, by the way. Like these are really good categories.
Yeah.
It's really like broken down the different aspects of the craft
Well,
that
they
goes
need a
into this
lot of
industry.
categories because there's a lot of products
That's
that come
true.
out every year.
There's best supplement too, best
Mhm.
writing, and finally product of the year. So I forgot to put the link in chat. So here you go, you guys. Going to all the
Oh my
chats.
god, you just reminded me. I didn't do anything like that for the earlier
Really?
stream. I forgot
Ah,
completely.
that's okay.
Oh.
We should put together like a digest of the chats in our Discord anyway. Right? Hang
Yeah.
on one moment.
So for those of you who don't know, Ennies apparently are the equivalent of the Oscars for tabletops.
Are they the Oscars? Is it that
I don't
level?
know. I have no idea. It's the only one I know about. The only awards group that I know about for tabletop.
Okay.
Why are they called Ennies?
Because it's by Nworld.
Oh.
nworld.org, where I honestly get a lot of my news from around the tabletop gaming industry. It's a pretty good website. So if you guys want to check that out, it's yeah. If you want to have your finger on the pulse of the industry, it's not a bad place to start. I mean, it's not the only place to get news, and a lot of their stuff is very, I think, very internal a lot of the time, because they have their own, their own. I don't want to
Their
say
own community?
economy, but yeah, it's their own community. So yeah, but there's a lot of good stuff here. Um, you can vote. I'm not sure who's eligible to vote, but actually, yeah, you can. I think you can just vote. So you can vote over here on this link if you care to cast a vote. If not, well, you can check out just your favorite games. See what's good based on those categories. It's but if you do vote, it's one person, one vote. It's very important that to them that they follow that, just so there's no vote spamming, and you can get some honest results.
I would vote if I knew any of the games that they're talking about here, any of the products.
Mm-hmm. There's a few that I know. Let me just highlight those. Let's see.
Oh, there's Simbaroom here. There's a Monster Codex.
Yeah,
For
the
Symbaroum.
essentially the monster manual for Simbaroom is there.
Mm.
But I would like, if there's anything I would recommend for you guys to check out here, it's Forbidden Lands, a retro open world survival fantasy RPG by Fria Ligan. So the people behind Coriolis, essentially, and Mutant Year Zero. Check that out. It is a pretty awesome take on the classic, D&D fantasy trope of exploring and adventuring. It's I like it. It's a good product and deserving of being not just on on best cartography, but it's actually up for product of the year.
Oh, wow.
So check that out.
What was that again? The
Forbidden Lands.
Forbidden Lands retro open world survival fantasy RPG.
Yep.
Hello, Eric. I'm not used to this time slot, he says. Neither are we. That's why we're trying it out.
It's a test flight, but I'm glad to see
Mhm.
like a lot of you are here. Like I know it's new. I know that like honestly I'm very touched because you guys didn't have to tune in. Like this is my like my schedule changed. And like I'm so happy to see so many of you still tuning in. Well, not even are just our regulars, but also Jonat and I guess
Yeah.
Raya tuning
New
in.
faces. Mhm.
Yeah, thank you.
And Dawn, well,
That's
he's
so
tuned in
awesome.
before.
Yes.
But it's always good to see, familiar names too. You know what? Looking through this list,
Mm-hmm.
it just makes me really want to get on it.
I
Hopefully
know, right?
one day, best or online content, we're a runner up or something. It would be an honor just
You
to be
know,
considered.
though, like if we want to
Uh-huh.
be on this, two things need
Uh-huh.
to happen.
Uh-huh.
Number one, we need to get involved with the Enworld
Ugh,
community forums and
damn
all
it.
that. Number two, I can't I can't source news from them anymore because that's like way
Oh,
too
the conflict
obvious.
of interest. Yeah.
I can't like put them up as a resource, right? It wouldn't
Well,
be. I don't think it'd be.
maybe you can, and that would just be brownie points for our, for them to consider us.
I don't know about that, but we'll see. We'll see how we can get on this. Maybe not for table talk, right? Maybe for
Maybe.
something
Yeah.
else. Something else
Maybe
we have
for
cooking. We'll see.
we still have that podcast episode recorded, the
No,
Simba Room one.
no, no,
I told them
no.
about it. The people who watched the earlier time slot.
What did you say? What did
I
you tell
said
them?
that I don't know how the topic came up, but
Mm-hmm.
I basically explained that early on, while we were still figuring out what to do on Dicecast, we
Mm-hmm.
were playing around with different content ideas, and a podcast came up. Oh, I remember how this came up. because we were talking about Simbaroom. And
Okay.
that was our first and only podcast episode that we
Yeah,
recorded.
we tested the game. Yeah,
Yeah.
just for it.
I liked the idea of your podcast because this was your idea to
Yeah.
do the starting adventures in as many games as possible.
But
But
you
then
do know like the pitfalls of that, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
well, we have to play all of them. And I think it was kind of too close to shut up and sit down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just it was a good idea, but like
Mm,
I just don't think we have the number one. We don't have the budget to do like all of that,
right.
right? Although we did say that we would do like the free quick play starter adventures, but there are some starter adventures out there that aren't for free that
Hmm.
that would be cool to do also. Like we
Well,
would be remiss to not include those.
where
But
there's a will, there's a way. And even if we don't have the budget to buy all of the games, there are tons of content creators out there, as you can tell. Like our August panel is full up, which Eric has
that's a good
reminded
point.
us about. They might have their own adventures or their own recommended ways to run a first playthrough.
That's a good
And we
point.
can always approach publishers as content creators ourselves, requesting digital copies of their starting adventures.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that we could have, like, if we were more entrepreneurial about it, I'm sure there's a way.
You have a good point.
Hmm.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Like Dicecast is still young and figuring things out, so
Mm-hmm.
who knows what the future holds. But yes, let me just since Eric brought it up, yes, we are pretty full up for the August 17th stream, more of due to technical limitations than anything. I know that Grid Fam is would be perfectly willing to increase the cap
Oh, yeah.
from what we've already requested them to, increase it by. It's also screen real estate and
Yeah.
also like the time. We want to give everyone ample time to, to be heard. And
Yes.
if we go past a certain number, I don't think that's going to be possible for the amount of time we've allotted. So,
That's a good
yeah.
point. Like, if we have all of the content creators on board, that would be great. But we'd have to
Yes.
have like a 6 hour long stream for everyone to have fair screen time.
Yeah.
Also, the more number of people talking at once, it gets really hard to focus on one voice at a time,
Yeah.
especially in an online situation where there's audio latency and delay.
Yes.
It's much better suited to have a bigger panel in person.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. Right now we're just hosting it online. So
Mhm.
yeah. Well, maybe in the future we'll see. But for the upcoming streams, for session 0, Gamers and GM session 0, this is the limitations you have to work with. So if you're a participant, if you're one of the designers showcasing their wares and I haven't gotten to yet, it's because I am trying to figure out like other ways to get you on stream aside
Hmm.
from those 2 days, aside from August 17. So August 10 does have some slots still open, but yeah, I'm trying to see like what else we can do. If we can get up a stream maybe earlier, like if but I understand if that might be too early for the participants too, because
Well, we can do what
right,
we're doing right now. We can have a morning and an afternoon stream if they're up to it. But
that's a good point. We'll see. Yeah,
that I think that would, if we have an overflow, an overabundance of speakers, that could be something we can consider. Then again, people kind of want the evening slot, right? Because that's where
yeah.
there's more visibility. And just like to harp on that, for the first time ever, we have more viewers on Facebook than on Twitch today.
No way.
We do. If you see the numbers breakdown, well, I never advise
Look
people
at
who
the
start streaming.
internet proving JP wrong.
I, you know, I explained this in the earlier stream too. Dang, there's a lot you missed out on. But I explained this earlier. I'm really Twitch is starting to grind my gears, man. The
Really?
ads.
Really?
Yeah, I hate the ads. So I was actually recommending people earlier to, like, if they get blasted with an ad that they can't skip, to just turn off Twitch, jump
Jump
on
to
over to
Facebook.
one of our other channels, Facebook or YouTube or Mixer even.
You ready to zuck it up, JP?
Am I gonna zuck the zuck cock?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that yet.
Uh-huh.
I still feel icky about having had a Facebook account in the past.
Uh-huh. It's okay. We'll you know,
Well, we could also consider streaming on what are those new ones? TikTok.
what? What's
What's the
TikTok?
other one? TikTok is like, it's like Chinese Vine. You remember Vine?
Oh, hang on. I'll be right back. I just gotta
Yeah,
check something.
sure. There's another. Can someone remind me? Like, what was that other one that starts with a K? Is it Kuvu or Kululu? Kajuju? Kajiji? No, I forget. There's this other one that I see billboards for, digital billboards in particular along EDSA in that area where the Pasig Rosario flyover is. The billboard that that Robinson's Galleria has. I see this ad for a video streaming platform, and I'm always tempted to look into it because, you know, more platforms, more opportunities to get more audience. I don't know, but if you guys know what I'm
What is
talking
this?
about, remind me about it. It's not Casebook. do you know what it is, Mark? There's this other video streaming platform, starts with a K. You know who
No.
knows? Trish knows. I'm gonna step out and ask her.
Okay. While you step out, let's step into the next topic. So, next up on our docket, we have Modifius launching a bunch of organized play for their various titles. So let's check it out. Let me bring up my notes just real quick. Hang on. All right. So Modifius has announced an organized play program that is, which one of the bonuses is you get free adventures or missions in advance of publication. So they would like to invite people to run games at major conventions that they're close to. But you know, they could also represent games at their local store, club, and in their own gaming group. So they will provide store credits for organized play events run at conventions and stores, however. So they'll provide more details once people sign up. So if you want
Okay.
to check this out, welcome back, JP. Did you find out what that platform is?
Yeah, it's called Kumu. Kumu.
Kumu.
I don't know what it's like. There's the mascot is some sort of koala bear thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we can look at that. It seems to be very popular, but
Sounds cute.
It sounds cute, but that's my worry.
That it's too cute.
Sarah also recommends D Live, where PewDiePie streams now.
What is that?
I have
Okay.
no idea. Sounds like, I don't know what is the D about. Eric saying, saw this one. They've been doing organized play
Yes.
for Star Trek and Actung for a while, but the latest one is Vampire London Burning. Vampire
I think I
London
should
Burning.
adjust the size of this window so like the left side of the screen isn't taken up by
Yeah,
chat.
yeah. I can also make the background darker if you want.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I'm just gonna move the Chrome capture over.
Sure.
And that is already a lot better. Right.
You know what I do to make it more legible for our audience who wants
Mhm.
to watch us? I actually zoom in, set the scale to 150% on Chrome,
Yeah.
so
There
that
we
they
go.
have an easier time reading it.
It's just for this one, it doesn't scale.
Oh,
This page doesn't scale. So
Oh.
there's that. For the rest,
Okay.
I've done that. It's just this is the exception, I guess. I guess we can check out Kumu and D Live. We'll see. Are they free? I hope they're free.
So Kumu, it looks like it's free. It's super Pinoy. Like, if you go to their website,
Is it local?
it's local. Kumu.ph.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
maybe we should. You know,
It
support
looks
local
like it's
and all
only on the App Store though, like Google Play and Apple.
that. Oh,
So it might be one of those.
it's mobile. It's
yeah, like
it's TikTok.
IGTV.
Yeah, it's like I guess it's like TikTok, IGTV, and all that.
Mm.
Well, anyway, yeah. Eric says that they have been doing Star Trek and Octung Cthulhu for a while now, but the latest one is vampire. There's a few things here too that I am quite curious about. So Fallout
Hmm.
Wasteland Warfare also apparently has organized play. Also, John Carter of Mars has
Oh wow.
organized play. So um, yeah, there's a bunch. There's a flavor of RPG for everyone here, from sci-fi to, dystopian, post-apocalyptic, um, wasteland survival. There's gothic vampire shenanigans, and yeah, all sorts. Check it out and see if. Do you think they'd accept applicants from the Philippines?
I don't see why not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, I can see why, but you can try. You can always try.
We could. Yeah, so like any enterprising people out there, especially
Hmm.
those of you with the existing infrastructure to do something like this. I'm looking at like if anyone, like we have Lichcast, gamers and GMs, if anyone from Greasy Snitches or Adventures Anonymous is tuned in, like is this something you guys, like your organizations, would be interested in trying to put up?
Eric says they just email the stuff to you. So he's already been getting the Actung and Star Trek stuff.
So you've been getting adventures for Octung and Cthulhu and Star Trek already? Wow, that easy.
It's a GM
Nice.
program, he clarifies.
It's really a GM. Like you mean like it's so they can equip the GMs who've bought these products to run games for people. It's more of that support.
They give him the link.
Cool.
He also says that Carlos, I don't know which Carlos, uses that one on the App Store, Kumu, to stream his minis painting stuff for Moon Punch Painting.
Huh. All right.
So
So
many
there's
words
already
there, which I know individually but do not know put together.
um yeah, I think a bit of research will help us parse that a lot
Yeah,
better.
Moon Punch Painting apparently is his company. Or I don't know if it's a company, but it's his show off. Where? It's a showcase of his paintings, minis
Mhm.
paintings.
Mhm.
So they have a
Okay.
Facebook, and it looks like, oh, they actually have a store.
Nice.
Okay,
Oh,
cool, cool,
speaking of
cool.
minis, you know what just happened this weekend?
What?
I've been DMing D&D 5th Ed for pretty more or less like the band Halik ni Gringo.
Mm,
And this weekend I managed to convince them to buy their first batch of.
figurines
Yeah,
from
I've started
from.
them from neutral grounds.
Oh, okay. I thought you had them do custom ones right off the bat from
No,
Hero
no.
Forge.
So, yeah, they've started down that slippery slope, and they, like, in our group chat, they're like, "Oh, when are we doing the group painting session?" It's like, "Oh, great. Yeah, all right. You guys go ahead. Knock yourselves out."
you know, on the one hand, it's great that they're getting into it. On the other hand, it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to recommend people to spend money on, well, what I consider to be an extraneous expense for D&D.
Uh-huh.
My cousin Anton, he was telling me over dinner just 2 days ago.
Mhm.
He was worried about spending so much on D&D. Like, he really wants to get into the hobby, but
Yeah.
there's so many books to buy, figurines, dice, all of the other accessories, like even journals if you want to get into keeping your own quest journal,
Uh-huh.
buying or commissioning art for your character. There's so much you can spend on D&D. And I was telling him, all of that stuff is great, but you can play D&D for free with just the basic rules
You
if you
can. You
really
can.
wanted to.
Though, like that isn't to say that it's wrong to
Mm,
spend stuff on this hobby. If you can afford it, and if you get something out of it, more than just a product, of course. Like if you get a kick out of it, why
true,
not? Right?
true,
Like
true.
it's there's something for everyone.
There is. There really is. Like you can get out whatever you want to from this hobby.
Yeah.
Haha! And now Twitch has taken over Facebook again. There are more Twitch viewers than Facebook. Wah, wah, wah.
Where are you getting this metric? Oh, I see. I see now.
Yeah,
Where?
the restream chat.
Yeah, yeah. I am. Are you gonna make this a race? I am rooting for Facebook.
I'm rooting for
Come on.
anyone.
Come on.
I just want the number to grow.
All right. All right.
So
So
Facebook, Twitch, freaking Mixer, if you want to watch us there, watch wherever you want as long as you're
Yes.
watching us.
and hanging out and chatting and
Mhm.
ideally we love to hear from you guys. We really appreciate it when you guys comment and make it more of a conversation, a discussion than just two guys shooting the breeze, right, JP?
Shooting the breeze. Right. I'll give you a high five there. Just reach down
Oh.
with your left hand. High five. Boom.
Just call me
I have
Boo.
no idea if that worked
Just-
or not.
Okay. I guess it
Nope.
looks fine.
It did not. There
Nope.
you go.
Oh, you're watching me on the stream. That's why it's delayed.
I am.
Okay.
Eric says, I am on Twitch more because you guys pay more attention to this chat.
That is different now. Things have changed with
Yeah.
Restream. We can
With
see all the
Restream,
chats.
we can see all of the chats all at once.
Chats.
Yeah, funny story. I was initially against subscribing to Restream, and then when I
Worth it.
was explaining it to Mark, I was like, "Do we really want to spend this much money on Restream a year when like we're only going to be using it twice a week every week for the next 12 months? Okay, let's get Restream."
Hey, yeah. Aside, I mean, that is not bad for the price already in
Yeah.
itself. Plus, when we do get more, more streamers on Dicecast, like it could be the existing crew or new
Mhm.
people joining, they will also benefit from Restream, and so it's like it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Hey Rachel, I missed going on in the afternoon too. So
Yeah.
I missed you all too.
Everyone missed you, dude. We were. That's why I brought Dice Chuck in on the chat because I needed someone to talk to about how much I felt like you were leaving us behind
for better pay and greener pastures,
for
literally.
better pay and taking care of your family and being a good husband. Yeah, darn you, Mark. Kidding, of course.
All right. Well, let's deliver on that and let's go on to the next topic.
Yeah, we've been stuck on this one for too long.
So this one up next for you cyberpunk fans is about the magic system in Shadowrun 6th edition. Now, I don't know much about Shadowrun. Actually, wait, did we cover this the other week?
You know what? I think you might have, but I was spaced out. So you can cover it again. It'll be fine.
We could have covered this the other week, yeah. But basically, if you missed this last week, then here you go. It's back this week. For any of you who are fans of Shadowrun, I know it can be really crunchy. That's as far as I know about Shadowrun because I've tried Shadowrun on the PC game on Steam by the people who made
XCOM, right?
XCOM. Was it XCOM? Hairbrained?
No,
Hairbrained
okay,
is
not, right.
No. What else did Hairbrained make? Hang on, let me check my Steam library. Hairbrained. Yes, BattleTech. The same people who made BattleTech. So yeah, it's even on PC. It's quite crunchy. And so like I can imagine how much worse it can be on
Did you know?
Tabletop without, unless you're super liberal with the rules. What's up? Did I know what?
Harebrained Schemes is a child organization, a child company of Paradox.
No wonder.
Makes a
They
lot of
make good
sense.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So there you go. Honestly, I think they're doing the world a favor by taking these mega crunchy games like BattleTech, like Shadowrun, and porting them over to PC.
Yeah.
Because like next up, hopefully, like what rifts? Just kidding. But
Maybe
yeah.
even Palladium. Oh God.
um, but yeah. From what I've read, um, I did a bit of research into this, like what you're doing in Sixth Ed, and honestly, the comments about this aren't very promising.
Oh no.
I know they're trying to streamline things. Like for example, and this doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but it might make more sense to you. If you played Shadowrun, like force is not declared before casting. Um, so yeah, elemental effects can come in more often. So I guess you can add more tags to like
Mm,
what you're doing with magic, magically, and drain should feel consistent. So, because it says here, since all drain calculations are based on the same modules, it should feel consistent across the line of spells. So I guess things are more even, no matter like what kind of caster you're playing. So, um, I've read though that it doesn't really solve the crunch of Shadowrun. uh it's I guess the reactions are mixed in some forums like Reddit.
okay.
So just be aware of that going into 6th edition.
Is
uh
it mixed in the same way that D&D 4th edition was mixed? Or is it mixed in the same way that uh what's a different metaphor I'm going for? Because the way that D&D 4th edition was mixed, it skewed more towards negative opinions, is what I'm going for. The mixed opinions of 4th ed was like pretty negative when you go into it.
to be honest, this feels mixed in the way that, and I don't know if like you ever experienced this, in the way that when L5R went from um first edition to second edition,
Mm,
essentially the people did not like the changes because I don't want to get into it too much because I don't know if a lot of people have played first edition L5R and second edition L5R, but basically it didn't solve the problem.
it just made a whole slew of other problems that were
Yeah,
unrelated to the first set of problems.
yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the impression I got from reading the forums. But like a quick Google search, and if you're a fan of Shadowrun anyway, like you've probably got access already to
Mm,
these online venues, online discussions, so you can check it out. You can ask about it, like if like you're on the Shadowrun Discord or something. You can see the discussions there. But basically, yeah, just a quick preview. I didn't. Yeah, like I don't know why I included this. I didn't really get to say a lot other than check it out if you're a fan of Shadowrun.
okay.
Um, and now for some good news, some unequivocally good news. We have some announcements from our buddies at Bouncy Rock Entertainment.
Woo! Bouncy
So,
Rock Entertainment, if you don't recall, are the producers, developers of Tailspire. We
yes.
love it so much.
So, Tailspire has already been successfully backed for a while now,
Yep.
and it's also reached its first funding goal. No, sorry, stretch goal. So now we can expect there to be the I think the character editor is that the first one,
Yes.
right?
Tailweaver is the first
Tailweaver.
stretch goal. Yeah.
There you go. And the Cyberpunk playset is unfortunately, like I know what you're thinking, Dicecast. It's sounds like a Legoid buy, but yeah, it's not an expansion, it's not DLC, but it's one of the stretch goals. And it's the last stretch goal, and I think that's at 225,000.
They need
Um,
about 90,000 more.
what's the currency again? What's their currency?
SEC? What is SEC?
Norway, I think.
Oh, NOK. Yeah.
Yeah,
Norway dollars or whatever. No, Norway kroner, I think it's called, right?
yeah. So they've got quite a way to go, but I'm gonna play the video for you guys, and I'm gonna mute it this time, so like we don't
There's no
risk
sound
any.
in the trailer, so don't worry about it.
Okay, I'm gonna play it for you guys because Holy shit! This looks so good.
Yeah, I
Like,
love it. Well, there's no sound, so we can talk over it. But yeah,
yeah.
it looks so cool. And the if you read the description,
Mm-hmm.
so in the update they actually detail like how they put it together.
Mm-hmm.
They just used the existing dungeon assets and then kind of reskinned or remodeled some of it. So
Yeah.
it could be something that they, this is an example. What they say, this is an example of what we can achieve in a short amount of time and how existing effects from the fantasy setting work well even with a totally different environment.
Like
um
these are the zombie
yep.
minis essentially, right?
I mean, there could be zombies in cyberpunk situations
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just
for
saying,
sure.
like that's they totally like repurposed the zombie
Yeah.
minis. They repurposed the spell effects. So like the magic missile looking things shooting out
Mhm.
of the guns. Those are the same spell effects in the fantasy tile set. There you go. You just saw it there.
Yeah, it's so cool. I
It
love
looks
it.
so good. I
It looks
love.
like a video game,
Yeah,
right?
it does. It does. I love the flickering LCD over here in the back. That's
Oh
such a nice
yeah, yeah.
touch. Like it makes it very Blade Runner, like just like that.
And that's the fire, the little fire icons.
Oh
They just put it on top
yeah,
of a barrel.
yeah, that's right. Lichcast says based on the KS bell curve, they'll get to this stretch goal. I hope so. I really hope so because
Mhm.
this is going to be the best. How much did he spend on this for the
100
channel? The best
hundo.
$100 we'll have ever
Mhm.
spent for Dicecast. I think.
Yeah. I mean, we're giving the keys to well, of course, to ourselves first. But like
Mm-hmm.
if you wanted to back this, I think it's a really good buy.
It's exciting times. So yeah. Uh
I'm really excited for the hero crafting system, by the way. I mean, that's already funded, fully funded.
mhm.
Like an entire system for building your own minis within Tailspire, no 3D modeling experience required. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know how true that is because, they can, this is still marketing. They can still
Right.
say this, and it might mean that you still need to work on how bones interact with
Mm,
the models. But I think they're pretty good. They're pretty
yeah.
good at keeping to their promises.
I mean, to be honest, like you've got games like The Sims. You even got Hero Forge, where it's not totally hard. It's not hard to imagine how they might
Mm.
accomplish a character model builder with no 3D modeling
They might have
experience
like
needed.
prefabs, right? Just
Yeah,
prefabricated body parts that you
the
just put
skeleton.
together and
Yeah, that
scaling
you.
them.
Yeah, you scale and you lay on top of a skeleton, right?
Hmm.
And with the pre-built poses, maybe,
Yeah,
and that's it. I mean, not to make it, not to grossly oversimplify it, but just the general outline of like what you need to do to make something that
yeah.
isn't that doesn't need 3D modeling experience for the end user. So, yeah,
Have you seen, by the way, have you tried Tailspire recently?
the alpha.
Um, yeah, like the have you tried doing the copy paste thing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I
It's
did for.
ridiculous, no? Like, have you copy pasted from Tailspire to Notepad to share
Yes,
that with
I
someone else?
have shared. I put it up on the channel, their channel for what do you call this?
Sharing the yeah,
Prefabs. Yeah,
yeah.
I put up my
It's
our red brand
so
hideout there.
like, how do you think of this shit? That is so cool. You can just copy paste. You're like, oh, I kind of like what I made. I want to share this with my friend. Copy paste from Tailspire into Notepad. Send that to friend on Discord. They copy paste that
And
text,
that's it.
and then oh god,
To be fair, I think that suggestion came from one of the alpha users,
yeah.
and Baggers implemented it. Or Baggers and wait, who does the programming? Is it Baggers or Re?
I'm sure it's a number of people, but Baggers and Re are, I think, the leads.
Yeah. So to be fair, that came from a user, an alpha tester, and it
Mm-hmm.
just shows number one how quickly and how great they can get shit done, and two, like they listen to the people who are playing their product, and that is why like I think they've got so much goodwill going for them.
Yeah.
And you can it's evident in the Kickstarter in the comments section. If you're on the Discord, you can feel it there too. Like it's just everyone's so excited and so happy for these guys.
Eric is saying the most money a Kickstarter picks up are in the first and last 2 to 3 days.
The last one too, huh? I never figured that, but that's pretty cool. Like people trying to get in before it.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's FOMO.
last
And
adopters. Yeah.
a lot of savvy Kickstarter campaign runners, they really push marketing on the last few days too. So that
Okay.
certainly helps as well.
All right. I'm excited. I am so excited.
Me too. Like I'm okay with it as it is right now. I love Cyberpunk. I don't
Mm-hmm.
need the themed assets in it because
Mm-hmm.
somebody will make it eventually.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy with where it is by now.
Sarah shares and the reminders come on the last days. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool,
All
cool,
right.
cool. Good to know.
Coming up. So we've got uh I don't want to say a hot take, but Wired's take. Like
Wired's hot take.
I didn't know that Wired did publish stuff like this about
Mm.
tabletop RPGs, but we've got their, I guess, guide to everything you ever wanted to know about tabletop RPGs. So we're
Okay.
gonna go through. Like I've browsed through it. They
Sure.
go through a bunch of different talking points, which I like. Like so we can easily like break it down and have a discussion between us and our wonderful viewers. So please, yeah, feel free to weigh in on these. I am gonna be. Let's introduce the article first. So this is by Matthew Ryan Williams. Yeah, and he writes Shannon Applesene's 4-book series Designers and Dungeons presents an incredibly detailed look at the history of tabletop role playing games, featuring profiles of more than 100 companies, including TSR, Wizards of the Coast, and White Wolf. The scale of the project was obviously huge, and the only way that it possibly came about was doing one article at a time, one company at a time. Appleseed says in episode 369 of the Geek's Guide to the Galaxy podcast. If I had ever looked and said, hey, I need to put out 4 books, which together were 500,000 words, I probably would have run in the other direction. And basically, for each article, Appleseed gathered as much information as he could from magazines and websites, then ran his research past people who had actually worked at the companies in question. So, basically, this article is a paraphrased version of like what Appleseed discusses on both his podcast, The Geek's Guide to the Galaxy, and or is it a she? Sorry. Yeah. Oh wait, I'm not sure. Is it a she?
I don't know.
Good lord, they can't find the. Oh, it's a he. There we go.
Okay.
So
Fair.
on
Gender.
his books, um, Designers and Dungeons. So here are his takes on a couple of things. We'll go over them: licensed games, then world building, then fantasy heartbreakers. We'll find out what that means in a bit, and finally on game designers. So you guys ready to jump into this? Um, hey Fox Pixar. Did I
No.
get that right?
Yeah, you
Fox
got it
Park.
right, but I timed him out. He's sharing
Ooh, okay.
weird link. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's get into this. So, unlicensed games. So, Appleseed says nowadays there are very strict licenses that have very limited time spans and can be killed at any point, or could be greatly delayed because people have to look over permissions. So, I feel like licensing has a couple of dangers that can leap out and grab you. One is that you put a lot of work into really expanding and improving a property, which, for example, West End Games did back in the 80s with their awesome Star Wars D6 game. Awesome added by me, sorry. It's kind of weird to think of now, but after the original trilogy of movies, Star Wars was essentially dead. And the only
Huh.
people that were actively developing it were West End Games. As an addendum, this is why for people who started for authors of Star Wars novels, LucasArts would actually give them material from the West End Games RPGs, the supplements, the rule book, just because a lot of the groundwork, not just groundwork, like they had expanded the universe so well that the Lucas Story Group actually kind of, yeah, Just use the material that was being developed for the license anyway. So anyway, they put huge amounts of work into it, and now they're not there, and Star Wars has moved on. So I think if Bexy, one of our new friends on Twitch, is watching, I think she'd be able to relate to this a lot because she is
Yeah.
running into some concerns with licensing herself in making her own original take on Fifth Ed, right, JP?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
she's trying to essentially skin it to fit into her own campaign setting. But because of Wizards of the Coast stranglehold on the D&D license and certain key properties,
mm-hmm,
she may have to stop it entirely.
mm-hmm. I mean, to be fair, like it's not just I think reskinning is understating it a bit because like she's revamped so
Mm.
much about Fifth Ed. She's kept more or less a core mechanic, right? But like the world, but also things like character creation, alignment, advancement,
Yeah, but that's the
spell
thing.
casting. They're so different.
You can't be able to teach people how to make characters or how to play the game.
Yeah.
Apparently that's not kosher with Wizards of the Coast. If you notice, it's like that with most of the supplements that you buy.
Mm-hmm. They
It's
just
just
allude.
information, right?
Yeah.
But like how to actually create the character or how to make a campaign, you have to buy the player's handbook for that. You have to buy the DMG for that. It
Right.
can't appear in any other module.
It's tricky.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, on the other end of things, like they mentioned like licenses expiring
Mm.
and just changing hands so much, and you see that with what we recently saw that with like Savage Worlds, like a Robotech supplement,
Mm-hmm.
setting book came out on Savage Worlds. I guess that's not Harmony Gold. Like, what's Harmony Gold doing with that IP?
I have no idea.
Um, yeah, like where is Star Wars now? I think Fantasy Flight hasn't put out a supplement in a while, so what's gonna happen to that license, right? And then when it changes hands, are we gonna see an so Fantasy Flight put out Star Wars and they use the proprietary dice system.
Mm-hmm.
That's very closely tied to like what they're doing with their Genesis line of for the Genesis uh, essentially RPG system, and so yeah, for the people who bought that, like what happens when the license changes hands again, especially that they have proprietary dice, right? They bought
Right.
special dice for Fantasy Flight Star Wars, so is that suddenly it seems like a bad investment then, you know? And I love proprietary dice when done correctly, and even I like think that man that would suck.
Yeah. Licenses are it's like patents, you know,
Yeah.
how it can be trolled and it can just be it can get in the way of the creative process rather than foster it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a double-edged sword.
Lichcasts. When you say Harmony Gold, like did Harmony Gold allow like are they the ones behind the Savage Worlds setting book for Robotech? I didn't know. Like I know it, I didn't see their I might be mistaken, but I didn't see their logo on it. That's surprising. I'm surprised they would, you know, um they're very stingy with Robotech. um yeah, so I guess that's it for licensing. While we wait for your reply, let's move on to world building. So JP, you want to take this away?
Sure. So Shannon says one of the secrets of the role playing industry is that people buy a lot more books to read or put on their shelves than they will ever play. Oh my God, this is just an aside. Yes, that is so true. Even like with video games, I have way too many video games. I'll never be able to play them. Anyway, back to the quote. It's kind of fun to see these worlds that you've read about be statistically defined, and a lot of these licensed games also do a miraculous job of developing the world and showing it in the detail that you never would have seen in the actual book. ICE's Middle Earth role playing was one of the first really extensive license lines. It was in the 80s primarily, and they just did an amazing job of putting out supplement after supplement, chunky 60 or 80 page supplements that extensively detailed individual lands in Middle Earth at a level that you would never even see in the very extensive Lord of the Rings books. This kind of this kind of hits a nail on the head with my feeling on all of the fan creations that we talked about last week. The
Uh-huh.
fan uh interpretations of like how you would see Pokemon or Legend of Zelda in a
Right.
in a tabletop format, because it's fun to see them being statistically defined.
To quickly recap, like what happened last week. So,
Mm.
I was so excited to show JP. Like, I know JP's like a huge Nintendo fan. I was
Yep.
so excited to show him this news about fan made Legend of Zelda and Pokemon projects in the works.
Hmm.
And basically, but when he took a closer look, not to disparage like the efforts of the people
No, no, of
who are
course not.
working on them, like it's a huge passion project. We understand, but it's a
It's
bit dense.
overwhelming.
It's
Yeah.
overwhelming. Yeah, especially from like a mechanics standpoint. It seems, yeah, quite the thing to tackle.
But I love that they did it.
Yeah,
You know, I
props
love
to
that they
them.
took the effort to turn this love for Legend of Zelda and love for Pokemon and tie it into their love for tabletop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just it's a lot, you know.
It's
It's a lot.
so yeah. Check out last week's episode for the links and
Hmm.
for the video of us like talking about it for what we went over, and you can kind
Some
of
would say
see
the
our
video of me shitting
reactions.
on it.
No, I don't. I just want to say we weren't shitting on it. We were just
No,
like,
no, we're
I
not.
just think you can see our excitement just like dim out
Yeah,
progressively.
yeah. It's like, ooh, cool, Legend of Zelda tabletop. Oh, oh,
Oh,
oh,
oh,
oh.
oh. Yeah. Um. But yeah, world building. So it's basically there's a lot more that goes on under the surface,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the trick is getting that to shine through without like beating the reader or the customer over the head with it.
Mm-mm.
Like part of excellent world building is making sure that, or even even that it informs not just like the setting and the characters you put into the book, but also the rules. Like you don't have to do too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think we saw that again, not shitting on the people who are working on those RPGs,
Of course not.
but like what do you do differently? For example, like you saw that in the Pokemon RPG where they had like trainer creation, character creation involved like selecting like point buying abilities,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then you don't really see trainers statted out in game. It's
Nope.
always just the Pokemon, and then you see like different trainer types that you can be. But then like those are just NPCs that you run into like in the game. It's not really your experience as like the player. Again, they might be wanting to represent that, right? Like fans who want to be Bug Boy or
Mm-hmm. You mean
who
bug catcher?
Bug Catcher, Bug Boy. Obviously, not a Nintendo gamer. But right, right. It's for
There
those fans who
should be a
want to be
bug
those.
boy in Pokemon. There really should.
But yeah, that's essentially what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Like these are in the world, but you also gotta be like part of world building is getting that across in a non overwhelming
Have
way.
you looked into Middle Earth role playing? The one
Not
that's
yet.
Shannon uses as an example.
Not yet. Have you heard about this? I
I've
think it's
never
the
heard
first
about it.
time for
It's
me.
the first time I heard about it. I wikied it a little bit.
This is old.
It's quite old.
Oh.
But the critical reaction to it, like this is in the wiki page, and it already
Oh my
says
god.
MERP was generally well received, although not recommended for beginners.
Oh god.
So
There you
if that's
go.
in the wiki, dang.
And then it's consensus.
Yeah.
There's some kind of consensus on it,
Mm-hmm.
or it would have been edited out. Yeah. There's a nice that's a nice like proofreading. Some commentators, and then the editor's
Ooh.
like, who justify, qualify the who the commentators are.
Right.
But yeah, it's well, there you go. That's our reaction to world building. If like for those of you developing stuff for Gamers and GM Session 0, you must have done some world building. Like, what was that like for you guys? Like, hopefully, like
Oh.
if you watch us on Facebook, you can leave a if you aren't here now, but if you watch us on Facebook, you can leave like a comment, or any game designers out there. Like yeah, what do you
Yeah.
go through when you're world building? I think the previous one on licenses, like none of us really want to work with licenses because we don't have the money for that, or the backing, or the clout for that. But for you indie game designers out there possibly watching this, what have you struggled with when it comes to world building? And I will be asking this is one of the questions, the talking points I've got for um, our roundtable
Yeah, that's a
discussion.
good question to ask.
So yeah,
No, not necessarily tabletop, because most of my most of my tabletop ventures have been taking an existing world and turning that into, tabletop rules, like the Monster
Uh-huh.
Hunter world that I want to do.
right.
I do have some experience with world building in the mobile game development space, because for a while I was a mobile game developer.
Mm-hmm.
We made some original IP. There was this one, the one that sticks with me the most was a game that we never got around to working on.
Is this the one you showed me?
Yeah,
Nothing.
I showed you the
Sorry.
design document of it, right? How
Yeah.
you, a lot of people are probably going to remember Recettear,
Yeah.
that merchant game where you play as a shopkeeper, and it's an RPG also where you actually fill up your inventory by dungeoneering yourself.
Yeah.
But I had that idea, a similar idea to that, for a mobile game, and I was already working on the world building. Like, okay, how come you have to do this? It's because you inherited this shop or this tavern, and now you have to keep it afloat because it's got a prestigious history, and you
Mm-hmm.
do need to put food on your table aside from the
Mm-hmm.
food that you put on the table for all of these other all of these other adventurers.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, I was world building in a similar way that I assume one would for tabletop,
Mm-hmm.
just in a digital format.
How did that turn out?
It was fun to do. Like, my design document that I showed you was
Yeah.
pretty sparse, but by the end of it, before the company closed down and we could never work on the game, it was about a 60 slide large PowerPoint. Most of it was on game mechanics, though, not necessarily the world building, because let's be honest, in mobile games, you don't really pay attention to the story much.
Right.
But I did enjoy working on it a lot.
You know what you should do? You know what
What?
you should do?
What? Make it.
Join Session 0 next year.
You want me to
Use
join it
that.
next year? You're
Yeah.
kicking me out of this year's?
I think it's because registrations are over.
Okay. All right.
Like, it's too late. Why don't we do that? Why don't you aim for that? Join Session 0 next year. Like, come out with a shopkeeper RPG.
Oh, wow. Oh, so I have to release the game and then talk about it.
And then
Sure.
you'll be a guest on your own channel when I interview you.
I mean, I
And
could just host it, and that'll tickle the same funny bone.
because one of my goals also is to make something in time for next year's Session 0. Hopefully
Yeah.
there will be one. You could interview me too.
Okay. Well, this is kind of circle jerky, but yeah, we can interview each other. I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine. Kind of deal, huh?
Yeah, but kidding aside, like, you should
Mm.
make it. You should right? You still have the design doc. You
I
should
do. Well,
give
I
it a
don't
try.
have the design doc anymore because that was property of the company. So I
Oh,
surrendered all of it. I should have
okay.
copied it.
You
Like,
should have.
I should have made my own personal
But
copy.
I bet
But
you still remember like
yeah,
loads
I
of
can
the
put it
thing.
together again. It's
Yeah.
not a problem.
Yeah.
The problem is finding a team who can make the game. Like, I no longer have contacts with my former coworkers. They
No, not a mobile game.
I
A
ever worked
tabletop
with.
game. Not mobile.
Oh, so we'll turn it
Tabletop.
into tabletop. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Let's do it. We'll turn it into a tabletop game.
Yeah.
The premise of the game was. Should I reveal it?
No.
Or
No,
okay.
God, no. Don't do it now.
Okay. I think people can put two and two together, though, because I
Yeah,
already
you mentioned
said,
some inspirations
yeah,
already.
yeah.
But then, yeah, keep some mystery. Like, keep people
Okay.
hanging.
Yeah. You know what?
And then
Sure.
you can stream making it,
What?
content and all that.
Everything is content. Oh man. Okay. You know what? Sure. Sure. Let's do it. I'll do it. All right.
Awesome. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll stream mine too when we
Mm-hmm.
basically our own road to.
Man, with what time are we gonna stream all this shit?
I don't know. It's
I
just
don't
I
know.
guess when you have a couple of hours free to like
Uh,
work on it, like just
you know,
get on
that's all
stream.
it takes though. A couple
Yeah.
hours free, like at least every few days or every week, a couple hours
Right.
free.
Right. That's
That
my
adds
plan.
up.
It does. It does. I mean, that's what you do here,
Yeah.
right? JP, I'm gonna need you to call back on Grid Fam
All
because
right. Yeah. I'm
yeah.
all gone.
So I'm
Okay.
gonna refresh mine, and you refresh yours.
Here you go.
Thank you for the encouragement, Eric. Yes, we do plan on like really. Well, I at least myself, I really do plan on finishing this thing that I started with the Year Zero engine,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, um, this is something I need to be aware of too. The world building that goes into it, because I know your distaste for the I guess the cultural perspective that goes into games like L5R. Um, and it is something I am keen to avoid
It's not
and
distaste. It's I feel
dislike.
so alienated
That
because
too.
it's so different from what I'm used to. That's
Yeah.
all.
Now for me, I want to flip and I don't know why people haven't really done this. I think it's because when L5R first had came out,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't really a thing to play to well, like playing uphill is part of the genre, but like to really like handicap yourself right from the get-go, like play on hard mode essentially by default in a game setting.
Mm.
But that's why I want to make a game about, I'm just gonna say it, like playing Ronin
Okay.
and all the shit that you run into as a consequence of being that. In Alpha var, in first at Alpha var, you're cautioned against it. In fact, the game designer, the author of the game, tells you that yeah, fine, you want to be Ronin, then you have no clan contacts. You get to be the lone wolf, the drama lone wolf, and whatever. You don't have anyone backing you. Fine, have fun, enjoy the game. Like in this really snarky tone, you
Wow.
can feel the snark behind that like sidebar. Um, but honestly, why not? Why not play right? Like, why not relish that and take that head
It
on?
seems like there was some gatekeeping going on by the game designer.
It
Huh?
could be gatekeeping, could be just like him wanting people to stay true
Mm.
to the vision of the game. Because you gotta remember, this was a card game about
Right.
clan samurai, right? So it's a L5R is an RPG that came out of the world building for L5R came from the card game. And so that informed a lot of the decisions that went into the RPG.
Hmm.
And so I kind of understand why they would want to discourage playing Ronin, but it just seemed a bit harsh and just a bit judgy the way it came out. So I've always thought, like why not? It's interesting. Like you don't have any single master. You can go from daimyo to daimyo. Like experience different kinds of masters, and it just makes more sense. Like if you're gonna like part of the theme of RPGs is exploration. So instead of exploring dungeons, why not explore different daimyo and their different lands and their specific set of problems that they face? I'm
Hmm.
giving too much away probably at this point about like
Oh,
what
I
I've
don't know
got
about that.
planned, but yeah, that's about that's what I'm making. So
Rachel
please
says
don't
that
rip
we
me
should
off.
just do it, and then she'll make an event next year.
We'll try. I mean, not we'll try. We'll do it. But yeah,
Yeah.
and hopefully it's good. It's something that people want to play.
Hopefully, it's good. Yes.
Thank you for your
I mean,
support, guys.
that's the most we can hope for is for it to be good.
hmm
We'll just do our best on it.
So this next one, it's called is Appleseed's take on fantasy heartbreakers.
What is that? What is a fantasy heartbreaker?
So apparently, it's a term that was originated by a Mr. Ron Edwards in an article that he produced. Ron Edwards basically suggested that a lot of people came up with their own versions of D and
Mm-hmm.
D, not seeing how the rest of the industry worked. So they repeated a lot of the ideas that had already been seen by the rest of the industry. And when Edwards wrote the article, one of the things he was saying was that all of these games have been essentially dumped into the dustbin of history, probably because they seem like D&D knockoffs, even
Mm.
if they had some really good ideas in them and a lot of enthusiasm like for the craft of making RPGs. They just didn't do well financially because they weren't original. Like at least in setting, right?
Right, right.
So yeah, there might still be little things in them that you can find that oh they did this better than D&D did, and but it's just they didn't make it. They didn't break through
Shit. Once again, I can relate to this, but not in the tabletop sense.
for
In,
mobile
in
games.
mobile games
Yeah.
again. Because of that game that I was talking about, and then Reciteer came out.
Right, right. That was a tough pill to swallow. I remember.
Yeah, man.
It's
Oh
like
well.
someone hacked your brain
Mm-hmm.
and
Or someone stole my design document. Or I showed it to a friend who sold it to someone who could produce it faster.
Oh, dude.
Hmm. Mm.
I got no contacts, so it couldn't have been
Oh
me.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Or maybe that's what you want me to think. No, I'm just but you have you started working on something that and then you realize, oh, it's already been done.
Yeah, I mean, I've always tried to fiddle with, making like an RPG or even just a supplement, and then you see it's already been done, and you just kind of go like, ah, shit. But you know what I would have told my younger self who ran into that? And it's not just with RPGs, it's like songs, right? Like
Mm.
songs, like I tried to write stuff for Lobster or Slow Hello, and it already, I hate, the thing I hate the most is when you demo it to your bandmates or to your friends, and they go like, isn't that song by this
Oh
other
god.
band? And you're just like,
Shit. That's
like
right.
it's either you're like, like you hate yourself or you hate them, because to you it doesn't sound like that at all. Like you would
Yeah.
have known. But
Yeah.
just like, fuck you for suggesting that.
Ooh.
It's-
Can I guess what you would have told your younger self?
just go through with it,
Yeah. I was
right?
gonna say, just do it, because you might have had a different take or a different
Yeah.
execution, even if it's a similar theme or idea.
I would have come out with so much more. Uh, Not that it's not not to say that I would have been prolific, but at least I would have had something to show. For all the work I put into it before I discovered that
Mm.
something else was similar. Like just come out with something. Put it out there. And then just put a disclaimer. This might seem like this other game, but it's really coincidental. Like whatever similarities, like that thing they put in movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever events, people, or whatever that happened, situations that are presented in this film are just purely coincidence if they bear similarity to whatever else. Just go for it, do it. How about like,
Yeah,
like for your
that's the
game,
same opinion.
yeah,
Same opinion I have. Just go. Just even if for anything, it's for your own self satisfaction, so that you know you
yes,
finished something.
that is so true.
Because some of my regrets are starting things that never get done, which is why I feel like Dicecast is one of my dearest babies. Of course,
'Cause it's
second
so
now to
outgoing.
my actual babies. But yeah, I feel like this is something that I started and I'm seeing it through. I'm following through with it.
Yep.
So yeah.
What like in the recent, I went to a master class recently. This is why I couldn't make one of our Video
Oh yeah,
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays.
S-
Yeah.
So in that master class, we were learning from essentially a Hollywood, a music composer who's essentially making his way up in Hollywood. So
Okay.
he's scoring like better and better movies.
Hmm.
and essentially he's awesome. Like he shared so much, and like one of the things that I came out of it is when he asked us, like, who who are you making the score for? And yeah, like who are you composing the music for when you're scoring for film? And there's three entities really that you're making it for. You're making it for the number one, for the director, because the director is your actual customer. You're making it for
Hmm.
the audience, because if the audience doesn't understand your score, like like if you make something super otherworldly that's never been heard before in Hollywood, like that is awesome, but then no one's gonna understand it.
No one's
They're
gonna
not
get it. Yeah.
they're not gonna get it. Number three is to make it for yourself. So I think that applies to not just music, but to any creative endeavor. Know who
Yeah.
your customer is, first of all. Know who you're really like making the thing for. And in tabletop, it's really often, if you're indie, like the customer and the people, the audience are often the same. But like if you're in maybe a publishing house, like of course you have to please your boss
Yeah.
first and foremost, right? You're making this for your company, your publishing house, your or whatever you call it. And then of course, yeah, the end user, and finally for yourself. So if you're doing this independently, that is the most important one, I think. The third one, make it for yourself, because all this indie stuff I've done, from music to film scores, so far in my life, like it's been so satisfying. Like the satisfaction of having completed the work, creative work. It's so good for the soul, and that's why like I still make music to this day, and it's why I want to finally finish like my own tabletop uh, product RPG.
Hmm.
And yeah, so good luck, everyone.
And to us, good luck to
And to
us too,
us.
because we've pledged here on this stream that we're gonna do it.
Right, exactly.
Oh man. Oh, it's a lot
We
of
can do it.
responsibility now.
We can do it. We'll be all right.
Sure we can. Oh, see, we got a laugh track now. They
I know.
understand.
Again, it's a very wholesome prayer meeting going on downstairs.
Mm.
So if it jumps in, why don't I let that die down for a bit while you read the fourth one?
The fourth one. Oh gosh, I closed. I forgot that there's one more. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Everything we needed to know. The fourth one. Shannon Appelklein on game designers. He says, I think that the average designer of a tabletop game in the current market is someone who cannot not design games. They are people who are driven by their ideas and creativity, and they just can't help themselves. They have all of these things bubbling up, and they want to make them available to other people. They love the systems they're creating. They love the stories that those systems can tell. They love the fans who are interested in their stories. The role playing industry has always had very small margins. I think a lot of people don't understand how very, very little an average role playing company makes, or an average designer makes, for a lot of effort. I do. You just put those together and you get people in there who really want to be there because they have great things that they want to do.
I think we jumped the gun with my little rant
Yeah.
before this.
That well, it tied together with Fantasy
Right.
Heartbreaker. So we could have it segued into it pretty well.
Okay. All right. If you say so. And Lichcast says,
You have little faith in
Lichcast
yourself.
says, make it for yourself is
Mhm.
100% the best advice. Thank you, man. Based on what he's seen on Twitter, that number 4 is correct.
Yeah, then I can tell you that from personal experience, even in the game design in the mobile game
Mobile. Hmm.
aspect, that is so true. It is so true. Why do you think I'm not a game designer professionally anymore?
um, but
Pro tip:
yeah,
it's not because I hate designing games. No.
it's we all it's there are lots of hurdles, right?
Mm,
And yeah, just I guess yeah, one of the things that'll get you through is if you want to make it for yourself
yes.
and knowing the satisfaction that you're gonna get out of it.
Yeah, because if you don't want to do it, you're not going to get any satisfaction from it, even if you do finish.
And more, yeah, like it's not guaranteed that people are gonna like it. It's not guaranteed
Mhm.
that if you have a boss, that you're making it for, it's not guaranteed that they're gonna like it either. But what you can guarantee is that you like what you're putting out.
Yes.
Like at this, at the same time, like understand, like for example, with music, like there might be revisions that kind of, you know, that you don't agree with, and lessen your, like you will have to change your standards and adjust slightly. But then at the same time, at least you're aiming high. You're aiming to please yourself 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything lower than that, it's kind of acceptable, is what I'm saying. Right? Like you're going to get something acceptable out of it.
Fair. Yeah. It's kind of preachy, but it sounds similar to the.
I know, we're so preachy on the stream. Oh,
I
God.
know. We should shut up. No, but it sounds. I was saying it sounds similar to that whole, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life kind
I
of deal.
hate that quote.
I know.
I
I know.
hate that quote. It's not true.
It's not true. But what we just said kind of sounds like it.
Um, maybe. I'm talking about it from a purely productivity standpoint.
Okay. From a
Right?
productivity standpoint, yes.
Yeah.
If you're making it, make it for yourself, because then
Yeah.
at least
Then you'll get it
one of
done.
the reasons why you got it done is
Yeah.
valid.
Exactly.
Mm.
um but yeah, like the what this number 4 is saying about very small margins, I think Eric's like that. I think that's what Eric for the most part is reacting to. Like
Mhm.
yeah, like you're I think Dice Chuck has also said this on stream,
He has,
right?
yeah.
Like it's in chat rather. Um yeah, and Dice Chuck is someone who is kind of in the industry. He shared before.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's really, and still, even with D&D's explosion in popularity, like this hobby is still, and industry is still really a niche thing,
That is
right?
something we actually exactly talked about earlier.
Really? Okay, cool.
Because one of my
Share,
topics,
please.
oh,
Mm.
laugh track. I didn't
Sorry, I'll
realize
mute it.
what I
I'll
said
mute
was
it.
funny.
I'll
No,
mute it.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So one of the topics that we talked about in TableTalk AM is Wizards of the Coast estimates 40 million D&D players worldwide, which sounds like a lot, and it is. But that's, to put that in perspective, that's less than half of 0.05% of the population of China. So it's a lot, relatively speaking, to when D&D first started out 45 years ago.
Right.
Holy shit, is it still way niche?
It's still very niche.
Yeah.
It's so I started a new job today.
Okay.
And I met some of my new batchmates for this job. It's an interesting mix. And
Mm.
we're all introducing ourselves. And here's it's such an interesting like microcosm to the point you raised. So one of the guys says that tells in the part where you're supposed to say something interesting about yourself. He says he's a very creative guy with a lot of creative pursuits, and one of his creative pursuits is playing tabletop RPGs.
Mm.
D&D being the most popular one, but he goes on like there's so much more than it. There's like L5R, there's like Fate. Like he essentially ticks off all the boxes for me.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool, right? And then the trainer goes, actually when he says D&D, when he says tabletop RPGs, the trainer goes, oh, like D&D, and that's what prompts him to go like, oh, but there's so much more,
Yeah.
and yeah, and so on. And really, like people weren't confused when he said tabletop RPGs. I think
Wow.
everyone had an idea of what he was talking about. And it's partly because, RPGs are in video games. And, when like it may not be, maybe it's a bit of a jump, but,
Mhm.
like if you're aware of RPGs in video games, like then you might be tangentially aware of RPGs on,
As a
on
tabletop
tabletop.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. Like at least board games, right? And no one was confused when he said like tabletop RPGs, and
Mhm.
no one was confused when the trainer said D&D. He didn't say Dungeons and Dragons. He said
Mm.
D&D, and everyone kind of got that. And then everyone switched off, and he went like, "Oh, like L5R and Cthulhu," and that's when people
Oops.
switched off.
Yeah.
But then basically, there is there
That
is
is a
that.
real problem, though. Like, we're getting way too much into it. Showing your passion can also be a downside. Like, it's kind of alienating sometimes.
Yeah, but then basically, there is that recall for D
Mm-hmm.
and D, for the idea of tabletop RPGs in general.
Mm-hmm.
But then for the rest of the industry, there's still, you still gotta knock Wizards of the
Yeah.
Coast off of that spot.
You gotta hand it to them, though. Like, they have an iron grip on that spot.
Right? They do. They do.
Mm.
It's a strong one. Um, but yeah, I guess that would be the last topic in terms of what's going on all over
In the
the world.
world of tabletop. Yeah.
hmm But we got three more for you before we end the stream. Things that
Yes.
you would want to know if you're looking to get some local gaming on, or not just even gaming, even just meeting the people who game, or finding
Yeah.
people who enjoy the hobby as much as you do. And so,
So this is actually what I'm most excited about, having two different time slots for streaming Table Talk news. Is
mhm,
now we can focus on like the hyper local news and the hyper local event space.
right,
Something that's
and
really relevant for
yeah,
our primary audience.
yeah, more space for it, and especially because at night is when our local viewers presumably would be more available to watch. So it's kind of perfect that you handle D&D during lunch, because that's like
Yep.
that's got the broader appeal all over the world. And so,
Oh, Eric, he feels bad about this,
oh
about this
man,
brunch because he can't make it.
well, you've made all the other ones, so like,
Mm.
give chance to others. Just kidding. There's
Yeah,
more than enough
dude.
to go around.
Stop hogging the spotlight. Says one of the guys who
Dude, on
streams
on a
this.
two on a two-person talk show.
Oh,
Jesus,
jeez.
who had the solo one this morning. So yeah, JP.
Stop. Okay. Yeah, you take it. Take it from here. I'm gonna shut up now.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We all love you. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear you won't be there, Eric. I'm gonna try to be at this one. Depends on if I have a D&D thing scheduled for the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I can squeeze in both. We'll see. Yeah, it's the first time I've shown the finger on screen, I think. So, wow. Sorry
Oh,
if anyone
dang.
got offended by that.
I'm gonna clip that. Here we go. Clippity clip.
So yeah, the PTRPG brunch is back, and it's gonna be hosted at the Tavern at the Crossroads this
Mhm.
Saturday at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, that is July 20. This Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in Cubao Expo at this wonderful establishment called the Tavern at the Crossroads. So they're inviting everyone to talk about the games they're currently playing or running, and or that you wish you were currently playing or running.
Mhm.
They're inviting you to bring your favorite micro RPGs, and they might just be able to. You might just be able to put together like an impromptu session then and there. So, you know, um, that sounds awesome. Um, that's mainly why I wanna try to attend, because I I would love to try new RPGs. I always love trying new RPGs. Um, so yeah, you can make it. It's a great way to meet, the people who are in this chat. Not just myself or JP. If I
I've
don't
never
know,
been.
he's
No.
never been. But yeah, like presumably if he went, or people like Lichcasts, Eric, who is a member, one of the admins at Gamers and GMs, and who else in our wonderful audience goes to these things. I think for Santiago, it's more of the south ones, because I understand it can be quite the trek from the south, from where he's at, all the way to Cubao X. Um, but yeah, so check it out. Meet people in your local gaming sphere. And yes, Dawn. That's right, Dawn. Forgot about Dawn. That's where I first met Dawn in one of the PTRPG meetups, like a month ago. So yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. It's nice to meet other people who are into the same hobbies. Ugly Neanderthal burb. Really?
That
Re-
I didn't choose that.
re-
It's random.
okay, fine. I feel better about that.
How freaking perfect was it? It's a
It's a
burb
burb.
and it's
Okay.
a bird flip. Hmm.
That is some Twitch is watching us.
Yeah,
Skynet is
for
watching
sure.
us. Yeah. Next up, is something from our one of our buddies here on Dicecast. One of his other groups
One of
is
his many other
many other
groups.
groups is Adventures Anonymous, and they are putting together. Oh, I forgot to link the PTRPG brunch. Let me do
Ooh.
that right now, and I'll follow it up really quickly with a downtime activity. So this is gonna completely swamp the chat. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Um,
I should disable having Dicecast show up on the
on
on the
the
chat.
stream chat, yeah, yeah. Well, we're happy to showcase this because you guys
Oh,
do some awesome stuff
oh, you
over
have
at
visitors,
AA.
Eric. Okay. Yep.
So, yeah, this is downtime activities, and let JP. Why don't you
Why don't I do
let
what?
them know what it's about, or should I do it because you don't have it open?
I have it open. I don't know what it's about though. No,
That's
no, no. I'm just kidding. They have a whole bunch of downtime. Oh, as the event obviously says, they have a bunch of activities that are tangentially related to role playing. That you can sign up for. So, for example,
mm-hmm,
if you want to learn how to paint miniatures, or if you want to learn how to make your own dice, or
mm-hmm.
that's pretty freaking sweet, by the way. Make your own dice bags. There's like a whole world of arts and crafts that goes hand in hand with role playing, and our friends here at Adventures Anonymous are trying to share how to do all of this. So, is there a consolidated list of activities with the dates?
It's
Um,
here. It's up on stream. So,
okay.
JP, guess who's doing the dice making workshop?
Oh, I know who's doing the dice making workshop. It's our
Mm-hmm.
friends at Natural 20.
Yep.
Yup.
Yep.
And I'm
This
kind of
is
sad that
exciting.
their sign up sheet is full.
It is.
It's full
Oh
up.
shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sarah wanted to join this,
Oh well.
and bring her cousin, but it's full up.
Oh
So
well. Hopefully it'll be the next time.
hopefully, you know what they should do.
What?
They should partner with us so we can stream the workshop. Oh God, I'm
But
just
that
adding
would
more tasks to our plate.
devalue the entrance fee.
They
It
can
wouldn't
people
actually,
can
because people need the materials.
Yep, people need the materials. And we can air it after, you know, the like a month or
Yeah.
2 months after, just like what we're planning to do
I
with
thought
BJ's workshop.
we agreed to never consider, you know, post dated content again.
I mean,
We'll stick
if
to
it's
live
going to
streams.
not be edited at all, then it's fine. But there is value in post dated content. Um, you want to, Shemper, you don't want the events that you throw to
Right.
be forgotten or to be
Right.
overlooked, or to you as an event organizer yourself, you want to try and get as many people as possible
True.
to
True.
benefit from the things that you throw, even though you technically still also have to make money,
Mm-hmm.
right, by throwing these events, to at least not be in the red for having thrown them in the first place. I know it's a delicate balance that you have
Mm-hmm.
to like, whether you want to focus on profit or on expanding your audience. It's something that you have to come up with or decide on as a group, with whoever you're working with. But that's besides the point. What we can offer is that a solution, a possible solution to that problem. And I still don't know how to feel about being in that position of being able to stream events, because, like, of course I'm happy that we did that. for
Right.
Turn Undead and Action to Aid, and even BJ's workshop that we never ever got around to releasing.
We're
I'm
so
so
sorry,
sorry.
BJ. Like we haven't had time to edit
And
and
yeah,
life, you know.
that's why I'm worried. Like that's why I'm of two minds about it, because we can do this if we just worked harder on it.
I don't think the heart. I don't know. It's all. There are only so many hours in a day.
Yeah,
We.
and that's what makes
I
us different.
think. I think we just have to
Mhm.
admit that we need help.
Yeah,
We need
yeah,
more hands on deck,
we do need more hands on deck for this. This is
and we should look into that.
it's not just a 2-man production for
Yeah.
that kind of thing. We keep on trying to say that we can do everything when
Like
in
just
fact,
yeah, right. Just the two of us, but
I know,
it's impossible, dude.
I know,
Like
I know.
even Turn Undead. Like if Sarah and Arvin hadn't shown up, I don't think we would have like gotten the setup ready in time,
No, no.
right? We thought we could do it just us, but
Mm.
Sarah and Arvin being there actually made such a huge difference.
We always underestimate just how much work it takes.
Yeah.
That's our biggest problem. Anyway, we should stop talking about our issues and
Yeah, I know.
start talking again
Let
about
me go
the
over
dawn.
what they're offering and the dates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get to the earliest one. The earliest one is miniature painting. That's July 27, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's at the War Room. That's on 6 Missouri Street, San Juan. The
Mhm.
fee is 500 inclusive of materials and drink.
That's pretty cheap to be
I'll,
part of a miniature painting thing. So
yeah,
you're also buying the miniature, right?
I guess.
It's cool. That is cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Like for reference, like the miniatures that the Harigni Gringo boys got from Neutral Grounds, were those gray. You know, I think they're already primed. Just these gray plastic miniatures for 275 pesos.
Mm.
So yeah, like it's not. It's there's space there in the budget for like paints and stuff. So
Yes.
I think it's a pretty sweet deal.
The benefit though is you don't have to go all in on an entire tub of paint if you're just
Exactly.
painting one figurine for this.
Exactly. You're gonna be using a communal, like you don't have to spend. You're not stuck essentially with your
Mhm.
purchase. Um, but yeah. So yeah, if any of you from my gaming group are listening to this and you want a group sesh, there you go. Sign up for this. We'll link,
I
I
mean,
guess, the
that's
sign up
assuming
sheet
the
in a bit.
signups are still open,
Yeah, I just realized
right?
that. We'll link that in a bit after you go through the different things they have on offer. So next up,
I'll look into it.
thank you, thank you. Next up is crocheting dice bags. That's on August 3, 29, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Ganchillo Guru Yarn Studio at Unit 306 Emerald Palace along Shaw Boulevard, number 604 in Pasig City. So this one is 300 pesos inclusive of materials as well. So
Would
yeah,
Edwina be interested in something like this?
maybe I don't know. I think she's her focus is she's always wanted to do workshops, but her focus isn't exactly on accessories, geek accessories. She's been making like shawls
Mm.
and more cutesy stuff like dolls for Naomi. Like not not that much, but like a tenth of Naomi's toys are crocheted by either Edwina, crocheted or knitted by Edwina or Jen. It's crazy. Like
Mm.
they sit around and they do the thing, or like for crocheting, it's more like that. Um, and then a toy comes out of it, or a sock, or a bonnet, and I can't wrap my head around like how that happens from just lots of knots.
Like,
It's
yeah,
it's magic.
the starting from the raw material and seeing how it ends up is kind of mind bending.
It is. She tried teaching me. I couldn't like wrap my head around like how it forms a thing.
Mm.
Anyway, next up you have August 11th, which is the dice making one. That's already closed, but for sake of putting it out
Well,
there,
I
it's
mean,
at
technically these slots are reserved, right? They can still back out.
that's true. Also, Lichcast says he floated the suggestion to add another day for the dice making workshop because the waiting list has 5 people on it.
Wow. So even after factoring in the reserve status, like if some of them back out, there's already 5 people queued up to take
Yeah.
those slots.
So you never know; they might add another day. So that's another reason to, to stay tuned to this page,
Hmm.
event page, or is it an event page or is it like a page? I
It's an
am
event
not sure.
page.
Event page, yeah. So stay tuned because they might add another event. I'm not saying they will. Even Dishcast says he just suggested it,
Right.
but just stay tuned. That's there you go. And finally, not finally, you have improv for role playing. So
Hmm.
I could use this.
Yeah,
Honestly,
me too.
I suck at improv. I'm
You want
not.
to sign up, the two of us, August 17? What's happening on August 17? Nothing in particular, right? It's not important. I'm just kidding.
No,
Come
I'm sad
on.
because I can't make this for
Yeah,
obvious reasons.
I know.
But the good news is, after you've done this workshop, you can just tune in because
Mm.
and catch like the tail end of the stream.
So I can go record
You
it for
could
you.
go, yeah. You could go, not mod for me on stream.
No, of course
Yeah.
not. I'm not going to leave you hanging.
But yeah, improv for role playing is August 17, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Park Foundation, 494 Lieutenant Arriaga Street, San Juan.
Mhm.
It's 300 pesos inclusive of water. Important when you are
Yes.
using your voice to emulate various
Which reminds me,
NPCs.
I don't have a glass of water here. Wow.
And finally, we have that's a bit out of order, isn't it? Like it went from 17 to 27, and then finally the last one is character drawing. That's August 31, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Built
Build table.
Table Co-working, third floor CBC Corporate Center, 724 Shaw Boulevard, Mandaluyong. It's 1,000 pesos inclusive of materials and snacks.
Yay,
So it's the only
snacks.
one where you get free snacks. That is worth noting because you won't go hungry while you're drawing your PC or NPCs.
So while it should be noted that the resin dice making workshop is full up and in fact backed up with 5 more waitlisted attendees, all of the others still have plenty of slots open. So if you're
Awesome.
interested, go ahead and sign up, even if it's just to reserve a slot before paying.
Awesome, possum. And you know what you might what else you might want to you might want to sign up for in
Mhm.
case you are a maker in terms of tabletop games and RPGs. You might
I do
wanna
have to say. I
what?
mean, keep going.
You might wanna, like, if you paint, if you craft, if you make art, if you publish, and if you merchant, if you make merchandise, um, sign up for a booth at Gamers and GM's Session Zero. So they are finalizing preparations for their upcoming celebration of local tabletop creators and designers. So they've opened up booth registration as of July 11th for interested merchants and artists. So the only requirement, the only stipulation is that your product must be related to tabletop gaming, which isn't so difficult if you're listening to this show. It's probably true already.
Yep.
For more details, you can email gamersandgms at gmail.com. So
I was gonna say, you should probably put up a workshop on coming up with segues because damn, that was smooth. The student has
you.
become the master.
What else is? They have another update too.
Mhm.
Master, why don't you go ahead and check this out for our audience?
All right. So, what's have some of our local creators been brewing for the road to Session Zero, you ask? Well, as of today, we have about 47 potential products ready for Session Zero. From angel dating simulators to games about psychopomps and kaiju hunting, it's sure to be a day full of surprises. For a sneak peek into what's coming, check out the hashtag Road to Zero hashtag, oops, on Facebook and join the Twitter party through the hashtag Road to Zero moment. Designers, artists, and attendees, don't forget to keep using the hashtag.
Thank you. JP Lichcast's Eric brings up an interesting idea. Give the workshop at your booth at session 0. You know what? Remember when you did that workshop for streaming at
Yeah.
what event was that?
That was LacunaCon.
No,
No, it wasn't.
no.
It was oh god, what was Eric?
This is the first
remind
time
us.
we met Eric face to face.
Yeah.
Vigil. There you go. It was more of a Q&A. And
Mm.
honestly, for those of you attending session 0, like whether you're watching now or on replay, if you you see your booth or and you have questions about streaming your content and coming up with your own stream, like for your actual games, or you want to do this thing like have a talk show and talk about tabletop games with on on your own channel, like talk to us. We can help you out. We can give you some advice. We'd love to have more. Honestly, like I would be stoked to see more people.
We will
doing
wear
this.
buttons that say "Ask me about Dicecast."
Not just
kind of like the old
Dicecast, but
Monkey
about
Island "Ask
streaming.
me about Loom" button, which I just linked in chat because I'm such a huge Monkey Island nerd.
What is this? Let's see.
It's an old adventure game. You know the Monkey Island series.
Yeah. Never really got to play it, but yeah.
Aw.
LucasArts, right?
Yep. Back when they were good.
Dude.
Back when they existed.
Is Space Quest LucasArts too? It is, right?
Yeah.
Space Quest, Monkey Island. What's the house one? Mansion? Is Day of the Tentacle also LucasArts?
Yeah, Day of the Tentacle.
God,
Manic
Many good
Mansion.
games. Manic Mansion. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So many awesome games.
Yeah, they all used the Scum VM engine.
Point and click. Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
One of my super off topic, but one of my favorite indie game buys of like the 2010s is Gemini Rue. Gemini Rue is a point and click inspired by the LucasArts games. Those ones. It's on GOG. If you want to relive that era of gaming, you can't do worse.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't do better.
You can't do worse. That was like, okay, you were talking it up, and then
you can do a lot worse. You can do a lot worse than Gemini Rue.
Have you played Machinarium?
No, not yet.
That's another one. Yeah, play that. I highly recommend.
I want to. I'll see if it's on sale or something. I can afford it. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. For
Gemini Rue looks legit too. Oh.
It's really good. I want to say more. It's gonna spoil it. But yeah. Session 0. If you see the Dicecast booth, and yeah, I just want to reiterate that we will be trying to stream some of the workshops, some of the talks, and maybe even a playtest if we can figure out how to do it.
Yeah,
it's tricky, but we'll see. But if you see us between those things, if we're at the booth,
August 25, we might have a mobile solution to stream by then.
Don't jinx it.
Okay, I won't jinx it. But we might have it. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited about it.
We'll see. But yeah, but even if we get that, there's a ton of other things that we need to figure out.
Yeah, it's just one cog in the machine that is streaming anywhere in the Philippines.
So they don't make it easy on us. The infrastructure and the everything. Not to mention the costs. But yeah. Yeah, if you see us at session 0 and you want to know about if you want to know about how to set up your own streaming thing, I could offer. I think most of it is gonna be JP, but if you have questions about audio, about
Yeah.
what the correct mics are, how to set it up in your PC to be, like somewhat professional. To sound somewhat professional, you're not talking to a tin can. Come up to me, ask me. I'd love to share some of what I know. I don't just do audio for Dicecast. I've done audio, I've done music production, I do composition, I mix my own tracks. I have friends who do voiceover work who I've helped essentially mix their work, given
Yeah.
tips on that. So
Myself included.
there you go. Yeah, there's a testimonial. Like if you need help, we're here. We're here for you guys.
Hmm.
So yeah, we'd love to see more streamers locally. We'd love to see, like you see it with
We'd love to see more streamers locally who know what they're doing.
yes.
Yeah, because if there's one pet peeve of mine is a streamer with really bad mic quality, and like they're obviously passionate and obviously knowledgeable, but you just
Mm-hmm.
can't sit through
Yeah.
what they're talking about because it sounds like they're talking through the other end of a tin can.
Yeah. That's one of the things we really focus on for Dicecast. Like we know
Mhm.
that early on, well, really, it's why JP brought me on board, pretty much. Um, uh, yeah, like people are gonna listen in, are gonna stick around longer for audio, generally. So
Yep.
it's less grating on the ears,
Yep.
and yeah. So
And
anyway,
if you
yeah,
have good audio, you don't have to worry about looking good on the webcam because they don't care what you look like.
it
They'll
can be
just tune
potato.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a potato cam, and
And
you'll
Eric
be.
has it exactly right. You can tab out.
Yep. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Speaking of tabbing
Mhm.
out, it's time for us to, clock out of here. Thank you for tuning in,
Again with the
everyone.
smooth segues. You are
Um,
a master at it.
stop it. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, everyone. Thank you so much to those of you who chatted, who kept us company in chat.
Mhm.
Lichcasts, you were there for us this whole stream. Thank you so much.
I think it got to him earlier when I was the top chatters.
Uh
This was
huh.
something that was happening in the stream this morning, this lunchtime. I showed a little bit behind the curtain, sneak peek behind the curtain at our stream analytics.
Rachel too.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so like it was like a revelation of you know just who is the most talkative, who's the most madaldal in our chat
Who
room.
is it? I missed. Yeah, totally missed this.
I
So what?
mean,
What? Who did the awards go to?
so obviously we and the Dicecast channel itself are on the top
Yeah.
because we are the hosts. But immediately after that, can you guess? Like ignoring the bots.
Ignoring the bots.
Yeah. Can
I
you
would
guess who's the
say
most talkative?
what, top three? I'm
Yeah.
just guessing in order. Okay.
Okay. In order?
And
Wow.
yeah, in order.
You're making it harder for yourself.
I'm guessing top three is
Hmm.
Dice Chuck, Lichcasts, Santagoy.
It's actually Seikachu,
Ooh.
Shadow Scythe, and Ben. Wait, this can't be right. Nope, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, you're looking at the wrong category,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. I'm looking at the wrong category. This is not chat leaderboards. This is viewership leaderboards,
Okay.
which means that Seikachu really does lurk
Oh,
on
thank
us
you. Thank you,
a lot.
Seika. Thank you,
Thank you, Seika.
KL.
Oh, dang. Where was it? I showed it earlier, right, Eric? Like who was the most talkative in chat? Oh, well, it's gone. Oh, that was because it was for that current session.
It's by session.
It's by
There's no way
session.
to see overall.
Probably not on stream elements.
Okay.
Darn.
Okay.
That's such a shame. But I do think our most oh,
You
I
found it?
think if I go to the overlays. Yeah, give me a second. You can keep signing us out. I'll
Okay.
just confirm.
Well, yeah. So let me just say to Lichcasts and Rachel, thank you so much for tuning in. Um, yeah, and singing through the whole stream, keeping us company in chat. But of course, thank you as well to. Let me see if I can remember everyone who said hi off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Jonette, Raya, Sarah, Dawn, and and Fox Fixer. And I think that and Santagoy,
Well,
of course. That's
technically,
everyone.
Fox was a bot, so doesn't count.
It counts for our stats, so just kidding.
All right. So you want to see a screenshot of the top chatters?
Yeah, send it to me. I'll put it up. You want me to put it up on stream?
Sure.
Okay.
Here.
Send it over.
I'll do the top 10. Here you go. And where's my Discord? Oh, it's hiding from me. Here you go, Mark. You can send that to the chat if you like.
Okay, I'm gonna put this on stream.
Do you remember what you said? It was.
Yeah, I remember.
Is this the order? The correct order?
Hang on. I'm putting it on stream. Let's see. Oh, I got it. I got Dice Chuck.
You
right?
got it. Yeah, you got Dice Chuck
I got Tagoy and Lichcast switched around.
mixed up. Yeah.
But,
But it is
yeah.
those three.
But you know what? You know what's more impressive?
They chatted even more than Dicecast show.
Yeah, they beat us
Yeah.
for messages.
And in Dice Chuck's case, by a lot.
This is overall. Yeah,
Yes, this is
Eric,
overall.
it's overall. You guys beat our freaking official, like what we use to post messages
By a lot, dudes.
by a lot. So thank you so much for your support and viewership and keeping us company in chat.
Mm.
It means so much to us. It's what keeps us coming back again and again. Thank you. You know what? I've been looking for a channel to raid.
Oh.
Um,
Let me help you there. Let's see who's up.
I am thinking.
Also, keep in mind that when we raid on Twitch, it only shows it on Twitch. So,
Well, yeah.
after the raid happens, the other streaming
Facebook.
services are still looking at us. Like our scene is still
Until we
streaming to
stop
the other. Yeah,
yeah.
until you hit the stop streaming button.
Okay. Sure. Let's see who's on D&D
Mm-hmm.
or not tabletop RPGs. So same category. We're not shunting people over to. You know what? For those of you curious about, it's a rerun.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
I
for
made
those of
that
you
boo-boo
curious about
earlier.
Shadowrun 6th, like it would have been perfect. Okay, let's just go to D&D. Let's see who's streaming D&D.
Let's sort by low to high viewer. So let's raid whoever's got like the least viewers.
Sure.
That still looks like a decent stream.
And it's not a rebroadcast. How
And is in
about
English.
man? It's a rerun. I would have wanted to send people over to Storm King's Thunder. That looked fun.
I was looking at this too. Dice Priori. I made the boo-boo of sending people to an offline channel last time. So,
how about what is this? D&D 3.5, the eradication, campaign writing. Mike, interesting time. You know,
and this guy is doing map building. The Kaki.
which one?
The Kaki, the Australian.
I see him.
Yeah.
We're
He's
going to
doing
Salt
map building.
Marsh. And he's
Yep.
using one of the tools he previewed before.
Yes.
You see it?
Exactly.
The procedural
Yeah.
thing. All right, that's it. We're raiding the Kaki. You want to do that on the dashboard or should I?
All right, I'll help you out there. Let me just get to the dashboard. Because
Okay, I got it open. I'm good.
Okay.
Like just
All right.
/raid and then the name, right?
Yep, you take care of it.
Okay, here we go. So we are raiding the Kaki, who is making, I guess, some salt marsh maps. So thank you again, everyone, for keeping us company and watching. And we'll see you on Wednesday. So same thing. JP's gonna stream at noon, and then I will be joining him at 7:30 to 9:30 Philippine time. So we'll see you then.
Yeah. I still don't know
Thanks.
what I'm gonna play in the morning time, but
Help JP out.
Well,
Send some
yeah.
suggestions on Discord.
and the suggestions.
Thank you so much. This has been Mark and JP. Yeah, roll high, and we'll see you around next time.
Roll high.
Playing you out with the intro, which is now an outro.
High five. Nope, left me happy.
Sorry. My
Roll
throat
that
is
down. I need to add more names to that wall.
You do.
I keep saying.
Santiago's been waiting for a while.
I know. Hate disappointing them.
All right. We've rated the Kaki, and for those of you on the other streams, we're gonna sign off now. Thank you so much. Bye.
But